Okay, I'm here with Cullan Evans. He just won our local tournament, and what were you using?
Monarchs.
All right, cool. Let's get this profile started.
All right, for starters, we have the obvious 3 Ether and the 3 Erebus.
Okay.
Just your big boss monsters, really. Ether here just special summons from deck when it's tribute summoned by sending 2 Monarch spells or traps, and he shuffles a card from your hand, your opponent's hand, field, or graveyard into the deck at the same cost.
Does that target?
No.
Ooh. How often do you guys use that?
All the time. Sometimes first turn if you want to. This Ether can be tribute summoned during your opponent's main phase and to special summon Monarch from deck, which is actually there's a really good combo with Karaz the Light Monarch that you'll see obviously later on. The 6 squires, the Eidos and Edea, pretty much the bread and butter of the deck. Honestly, they're a little busted in my personal opinion. Edea, when it's normal summoned, special summons Eidos from deck, and when Eidos is normal or special summoned, you get an extra tribute summon in addition to your normal summon. So pretty much just sets up whatever kind of play you want to do, be it 1 tribute, 2 tribute, or more than that. Once you see Edea, it pretty much you can keep going with the whole loop, because Eidos can banish from graveyard to special summon this from grave, and this effect also triggers when it's special summoned like him. So once you see Edea and get Eidos, you can just banish the special summon, which will get you another one, and the next turn you can keep doing it.
Just do it for forever.
Yeah. And Edea is probably one of the biggest cards in the deck, because when it's sent to the graveyard by any means, you can add a banished Monarch spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, which is bonkers.
Snap.
What did I
Did
say?
you get to do that at all? Did you get to use that effect at all?
The add a banished?
Yes.
You do it every turn that you see Edea. It's just, you get free cards all the time running this deck, especially with a draw card with that.
All right.
As far as the other Monarchs that, didn't really come with the structure deck, Thessalos, just a one of, because he's honestly really, really good. You can resolve his effect if you see him all the time. When he's tribute summoned, you look at your opponent's hand and select a card and send it to the graveyard, and they take burn damage for if it's a monster, depending on the level. I do this if I see it first turn. I will try to do this first turn, because obviously I can look at their hand and see pretty much everything they have at that point.
All the problem cards.
Yeah, and if I feel like I can get rid of any problem card I want, like against, if you have like March Up or something, or your field spell that prevents them from special summoning from the extra deck, and they have like an MST or Twin Twisters, you can be like, well, all right, there goes, you're out.
And why did you play? Did you do that reason over like Zaborg and?
As far as the Mega
Caius?
Monarchs,
Yeah.
there is Mega Caius in here as well.
Oh, okay.
I also do, because I don't know, these guys, he's obviously, in my opinion, probably the best. Just big Caius, really. I won a couple games just off of Caius today. And Thessalos is just like can threat, and just another big beater for Aether, because when she's tribute summoned, you can special summon a monster with 2400 or more attack and 1000 defense from your deck. So you can do the big Monarchs or the little ones, whichever you want. So if you want to search this, basically, because at the end phase after this, the monster you summon comes back to your hand, so you can keep that going. Really,
You just have it for next turn.
yeah. And the last one is Karaz the Light Monarch. This is my favorite card in the deck, because it has multiple uses. Like I said earlier, with the combo here with Aether, is he's a play interrupter. Karaz, what he does is he will when he's normal or special summon, so he's his effect goes off when special summon from deck because you can target up to 2 cards on the field and destroy them, and the controller of those cards draws a card for each one. So if you just want to go for advantage, if you have the opportunity, like say if you have your ADL on field and you special normal tribute summon this to special summon it, you can maybe pop a card of theirs, or you maybe can just pick Idea to pop Idea, send it to the graveyard, draw a card, and then Idea gives you the Banished Spell or Trap from your Banished Zone back to your hand, which unless you need it, something else will probably be your draw card, which just nets you 3 more cards.
Huh.
And like I said, it's also a play interrupter. Like I was going to lose today because someone had these giant monsters on board, and he during his main phase, when he was out of resources to summon things, I tributed this during my opponent's turn and special this and popped his field. Sure, he got to draw 2 cards, but his threats are gone, and then I won next turn. And that's pretty much all them. The rest of the monsters is just double Effect Veiler and double Maxi. Maxi just because Maxi. And Effect Veiler, whereas Effect Veiler is really good and helps out in a lot of matches, I mained it because of the mirror. Because obviously your big Monarch's effects, if you stop them from resolving, are really big. And in the mirror match, if you stop the ADF from resolving, chances are you just won the game. It's pretty hard to recover if you don't get this going, unless you have like the nuts. But if you stop this, so like anybody playing against Monarch, stop Adia, and most of the time you stop the deck. Yeah, unless you have the nuts.
Do you know how many monsters that was?
Not offhand. I can tell you later. 3 Upstart, because Upstart. Yeah. 1 March. It's searchable, so I feel like you only need 1 mained. I do side 2 more for decks that's really good against, like Kaijus or Burning Abyss or anything that I feel like it's good against. But it's just really solid. But it's too much to run at more than that. Probably the most broken card in the deck, the draw card, Pantheism. Pantheism is you discard a Monarch Spell Trap card to the graveyard to draw 2 cards, and then at any point, it doesn't have to be during the, it can be during the turn it was sent, you can banish this card to reveal 3 Monarch Spell Trap cards to your opponent, and they pick one to add it to your hand. So really, when you activate this, you're like discarding 1 to draw 2, and then you immediately can banish this to basically search your deck for 3 Monarch Spell Traps, and your opponent has to pick one. And a lot of times early on, you can just pick 3 the same, and your opponent obviously has to choose basically what you want. The banish effect is once per turn, but the discard to draw is not. So you can keep. There's been times where I've used all 3 in 1 turn, or a lot of times you'll get 2 if you have like an ADA, because what ends up happening is you use this to draw. Draw your cards, banish it, add your card, Adia to summon, the other squire. Do your tributing, Adia goes to grave. You add Pantheism back to your hand. If you still have the fuel, you can keep drawing, and you just really is the Turbo Monarchs.
Can you add that card off of itself too?
I believe you can. Yep. You can reveal 3 Monarch Spell Trap cards. So, and a lot of times, as well with the other Monarchs cards, Tenacity is just basically reveal a Monarch in your hand to add a Monarch Spell Trap card. So a lot of times you end up like picking 2 of these and 1 card. Say if you wanted one of your domains, you can still pretty much just pick what they get, what they give you.
Because then it's like you either pick domain or you pick the deck center.
A lot of times I would still pick Tenacity, because depending on what they have in their hand, if they don't have a Monarch, they can't even use it. So it's probably always better to pick Tenacity, but
take the risk.
Yeah, because and Tenacity is also once per turn, so you also have to watch for if they used it. It might just be dead in their hand if you add it. As far as this, I main 3 domain Because it has multiple effects. This is the one that if you control a tribute summon monster and your opponent does not, your opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck. So obviously it's really good against the Pepe matchup. Anything from the extra deck, it shuts them down. It's really cheesy and just seems kind of unfair because it's like a searchable vanities for an extra deck pretty much, and like if you have this on the field with March and they can't get rid of your big Monarch or whatever Monarch, depending on the deck, they can't play. Its other effect is once per turn you can make a monster with 2800 attack and 1000 defense, aka one of the Mega Monarchs or the big guys, lose 2 levels, so it makes them 1 tribute, which
Speaks for itself.
yeah, is really nasty. Just really easy. And obviously 3 Monarch Stormforth. Just
Speaks for itself.
yeah,
Tribute your opponent's
yeah,
stuff.
searchable to steal your opponent's monsters. As far as the one-ofs, Raigeki, because Raigeki, 1 for 1 because Idea is 1 star, and this is like an OTK card a lot of the time. If you have like a decent amount of tributes in your hand or any amount of field control already, and you can 1 for 1 into an Idea without using your normal summon, the fact that the Eidos, the Black Squire, gives you an extra tribute summon along with your normal summon means you can tribute summon twice, which a lot of the time, if you have Erebus and Ether, it's OTK. You can just OTK with this because you can clear their field while special summoning, like while summoning 3 to 4 monsters, all with like at least 2400 or more attack, and it really only takes a 24 and 2 28s, and that's perfect OTK. So
Did you ever actually get to use that combo?
yeah, a couple times. Like with the amount of draw power, like I said, we could just keep adding back all your draw power. You burn through your deck so much. Like I can't tell you how many times like I just drew through half my deck and always had Raigeki in my hand. I won many games just by having Raigeki in my hand, and that's why the whole part with like the OTK thing here, the fact that these the little ones here, the fact that Eidos can special summon Adia from the grave and trigger her effect without using your normal summon is really dangerous, because if you have the right stuff in your hand, you contribute twice and just one shot them with Monarchs.
Yeah.
So the big thing is being able to use Adia without using your normal summon, and then Rhoda for Adia because it's a warrior, and I'm sad I don't have 3.
More consistency.
Yeah. And the only 2 traps that I ran were the Prime Monarch, which is it's extra tribute fodder. I used it many times today as a wall, because sometimes, despite how fast it is, you can open up pretty brickish, but it usually doesn't take very long before you can work out of that. And basically, just like with old-time Monarch decks, if you open up brick, you usually opened up with a ton of basically really big, strong monsters, but as soon as you get your engine going, you basically have infinite resources. So, this is when it's on your field, you can activate it. Once per turn, you can send 2 Monarch Spell or Trap cards from your graveyard to your deck to draw a card. And if it's in grave, you can banish a Monarch Spell or Trap card to special summon it, and it becomes a monster as 1000 attack and 2400 defense. So it's a pretty decent wall or extra tribute if you need it. With this as well, sometimes with all your big Monarchs, the Dark and Light one, with their effects, you send Monarch Spell Trap cards from your deck to the grave, 2 with different names, to activate their effects. So a lot of times you will send this, but with this, you can also kind of pick and choose what you want. As far as a spell, like if you're up against something that you really want March and you resolve a big one, you can send Prime and March to your graveyard and then banish March with Prime. So sure, you get like an extra wall, and then get rid of your Adia, which will add your banished one back to your hand. So you're basically searching what Monarch spell you want because of Adia being able to add the banished one. And this, like, you'll always banish the draw card, but with Prime you get to choose which one you banish. So If you want March, if you want Tenacity, if you want the field spell, you can search it, add it off that.
And then why'd you only play 2?
Because I think 3 is just way too much. Like, you see it just all the time. Because you said, like, this is a really good, it's good to have in your hand. It's a little slow. I've heard people say that they really like having it, and I mean, I get it. Because you can recycle your spells. Honestly, I have not run out of Monarch spells and trap cards before the game has been over ever yet. So, like, yeah, you get to recycle one, but I really like the fact that I would rather have something else in my deck than this in my hand.
Yeah.
At the start. So a lot of times when I tribute my guys, I will send one of these for sure, and then if I do it again, I'll probably send the other one, because you get to, they're just so, I think they're just so much better in Grave. Like I said, I would just rather see other cards in my opening hand than this, because with how fast everything is, like setting, these just get these. I said I used it. And that's it for the main deck. Side
how many
deck.
cards was that?
That was 40. Yeah.
40?
It's for obviously no extra deck. Side deck is kind of suboptimal right now, just because I don't have a whole lot. Like the Vanity's Fiend here. I mean, it's Vanity's Fiend. I don't main. Sorry, Majesty's Fiend and the Vanity's Fiend. I would do. I mean, these guys are just really abusable in this deck. They're tribute summon monsters. They're protected by March. The field spell. I forgot to say the field spell. When a tribute summon monster you control attacks an opponent's monster, it gains 800 attack during the damage calc. So these become like 3,200 beaters on my turn, basically. And they just shut down a lot of the meta decks. I probably
they're searchable too off of what, Tenacity?
No, Tenacity. You can for Tenacity searches spells or traps, but you can reveal these to
okay.
or at least you can reveal this one to search a spell or trap.
Okay.
And I would probably do another Majesty's Fiend, but I didn't have one at the time. I tried out Lad. Like, I played back in the day with different Monarchs, so Lad was like in Frog Monarchs and basically every other Monarch build that I could think of. This like Lad was just disgusting. I sided against the Mirror, and anything that, I mean, combo deck. Lad kills combo decks because a lot of times they don't have like a lot of destruction or things that can chain to really like screw over Lad. So if you don't know what Light and Darkness Dragon does, is one, it can't be special summoned, but it's each time anywhere on the field, including your own. So it's a kind of a stall, but it also just hurts your opponent's resources. That each time a card or an effect is activated, this card negates it and it loses 500 attack and defense. So it just will keep negating until it can't anymore. And when Lad is destroyed, you destroy all cards on your field and special summon a monster. Sorry, all monsters on your field and special summon a monster from your graveyard, which a lot of time could be, if you just need another big beater, could be just another Monarch, or it could be Idea to special summon the Dark Squire from your deck. It's just, I don't know, it works when I used it. And like I said, against the mirror match, basically if you, against anything honestly that you feel like this is worth siding in, if you open Idea or a way to get to Idea and this, you can first turn Lad, which
is like a blow.
Yeah, it's very hard to get around for anything really.
Did you side that a lot today?
I only sided it. I sided it twice, and I only saw it in one game, and I believe I saw it against a Kaiju matchup, which was actually pretty good to have. I made him waste a lot of resources, but overall impact, probably not that much, honestly. He used, honestly, against the Kaiju matchup, the field spell got a lot of negates out of it, so I probably wouldn't side it against Kaiju again. One terraforming, just because I feel like the field spell, if you're going up against a deck that relies on its extra deck, I mean, you want to see the field spell as fast as you can, especially if you open it and you can put it up and put a tribute summon on the field. They can't do anything. as far as special summon from the extra
So
deck.
why did you side it and not main it?
The terraforming?
Yeah.
Just because, honestly, this might be too much. I just thought maybe I'll just put this in there to try it out. If I play against something that is relying on its extra deck, then I can use this to search the field spell, because the field spell is still searchable by Tenacity. You know, but you have to see them, and against like the Burning Abyss and the Pepe and whatever else.
Pendulum decks.
Yeah, anything pendulum based. I mean, you search this and they can't special from extra deck. It hurts so much. Like I said earlier, the other two March, because it's really good against a lot of things, but it's just not worth maining 3 in my opinion. And these should probably be Twin Twisters, but you know, MST. This is, I just kind of threw them in there because I know there's an Infernoid player here, but then I actually didn't side them. I may have put one in, but I realized that without even thinking about it, it was a horrible idea, because I banish my stuff all the time. And
so
like,
would you play Lancia over
yeah, I would
Cullan
probably
in the future?
I'd probably do Lancia, or just it would probably be Lancia or
Vanities, maybe?
I mean, I did side the
Okay.
Vanities. This Vanities won me the game against Infernoids today. Yeah, these would definitely come out for like Lancias, and I don't know. I sided 3 Vanities Fiend against the Infernoids as well, and so I feel like that is suffice, honestly. It has a lot of the deck has a lot of draw power and just like raw power in general. So I can generally see my sides just because I burned through my entire deck. So yeah, Impulse out. It's a bad move on my part.
And then, will there be any changes after today that you make to the deck? Or did you like it how it is?
The Veilers didn't do anything for me today, except for one time against the Monarch mirror match. So I don't know, maybe if it would be worth taking them out and siding them against the mirror match. Yeah, that's all I could really think of. The Maxis and Veilers didn't really net me a whole lot today, but I don't think the Maxis are worth taking out. So if I had to guess, maybe the Veilers sided for something else, but at this point I can't think of anything.
All right. Well, thank you for the profile.
Yeah, man.